here, if at any time during this week we get into that shaded area, this shaded area has an additional area I'm watching, which is between this candle's high and this candle's low. So there's a small little gap there. Okay, so that way you know. And what happens if it goes above that and it gets really animated? This wick's halfway point, which is consequent encroachment. Okay, you also have the implied fair value gap, which I taught this week, or actually I introduced it rather. You have that occurring here. So you want to take the consequent encroachment of this wick and this wick, that range, project it out. If we go through that, man, we're really bullish on dollar, and that's probably a bad sign. That means a lot of things can go down hard. If you ever see a big down candle like this, what makes it big? Look at the candles before it. Relatively speaking, this is larger compared to this one here, right? And all these over here. So there's a lot of what? Displacement to the downside. Is there a fair value gap in this? Not on this 1 minute chart, it isn't, no. But look closer. Take a look at this wick here and measure it. Find the consequent encroachment of that wick and then the consequent encroachment of this wick. I'm going to show you what the algorithm's referring to here. Between the consequent encroachment of this wick and the consequent encroachment of this wick here, that right there is equivalent to what? A fair value gap. So right there is equivalent to a fair value gap. Now you don't see it. You don't see that in charts. And when I talk about things that are not in the chart, this is one of those things that that signature is referring to. What can the wicks do? Color outside the line. That's where the damage is done. Outside of this implied fair value gap, because that's what this is, making sure it's in your notes, label as such. Both of these wicks overlap each other and offer no gap on this one down closed candle. But because we have two long wicks, this here on this candle, and then we have a long wick or tail on this candle here, you split that in half on both of them, and you use both consequent encroachment. Look real close. What do you see? Isn't this just like a fair value gap? You might get a little bit of a mohawk above it, okay, because you want seamless price delivery. Where does it really go to? The order block. What's the opening on that? One tick into it, this order block. Then the bodies are what? Where are the bodies forming? You want to know what I'm looking at when I'm reading price, when I'm looking at fair value gaps, institutional order flow, entry drills and things? The benefit of knowing where the bodies stop. Midpoint is here. Did the bodies even reach and touch the consequent encroachment of this implied fair value gap? No. So it's doing what? The bodies are telling you the story. The wicks are the damage, okay? It's always going to go outside the lines. But the bodies of these candles are telling you and indicating that it can't even close or open on a new candle at the midpoint, which is consequent encroachment of a imbalance. Even though this doesn't look like it's an imbalance, I'm teaching you what the algorithm is seeing at that moment. What levels is it going to refer to? The midpoint. But if it's saying, no, I'm not going to rebook there, the composite man sees that as a signature to say, okay, we are decidedly weak. Now aim for sell side. Because even though the wicks went up there, retail sees this stuff while it was a bold-faced candle bullish, they're going to trust it's going to go higher. The fact that it can't reach up to a level that it should reach, which is midpoint, it's showing you it's exceedingly weak.